Thank you very much, and thanks for everyone for being here. For this is, I think, real meat of the matter, the special part, the heart and soul of everything we do in the Wealth Creation Mastermind, mastering the creative method of thought. This is the heart of the matter. This is the creamy vanilla center. This is the apex. It's the most critical, important part of everything that brings the whole concept, the entire method together. So congratulations for being here, for being in the material, and for being part of the Wealth Creation Mastermind. What we're doing in this exercise is we are into chapter 4, autosuggestion, in Napoleon Hill's masterpiece, Think and Grow Rich. And what Napoleon Hill says of all of the other principles, 13 principles in Think and Grow Rich, they are all in support of this one principle. That is the matter of importance that we're dealing with. I'm all unapologetically excited that we are at this exercise right now, because you see, autosuggestion, self-suggestion, self-talk it's the medium for influencing the subconscious mind. It's the third step towards riches, of course, desire, faith being 1 and 2. And what we have with autosuggestion is this is your ability to use this principle of autosuggestion, and it's going to depend very largely on your capacity and your ability to concentrate upon the given desire, your chief aim in life, and to the point that becomes a burning obsession, this vibrating, resonating, pulsating, burning desire that then permeates and penetrates throughout our mind. Now, autosuggestion, all that means is that it is the way that our conscious mind, the volitional part of the mind that thinks, communicates and plants a seed of thought into the subconscious mind. It's the agency of communication between those two parts of the mind. And we have 5 senses, as we know. We have sight and hearing and smell and touch, or taste and touch. We anything that we read, hear, see, anything that we then start thinking about as a result of the stimuli that has reached our conscious mind, and then that we choose to take an idea and plant it over and over, systematically, consistently, repetitively, from the conscious into the subconscious part of the mind, is what causes the body to actually act. So the critical question is, what is on your mind? Are you controlling your thoughts consciously and consistently and with absolute commitment to getting the desires that you want transmuted from a thought into physical equivalent? So the dominating thoughts that we all carry with us at all times, and that we allow to remain in our conscious mind, whether they're positive thoughts or negative thoughts, those are the messages that we are sending to our subconscious mind. The law of attraction is working 100% of the time, whether we like it or not. We're attracting whatever our predominant thoughts are. So you've got to become cognizant of controlling your thoughts on a regular, ongoing basis. And, the sad part, the reason most people fail at affirmations, at autosuggestion, at getting what they want in their lives, is that they exert no effort to this most vital principle of autosuggestion and mental discipline. See, the thing that we've got to be cognizant of is that the one thing that you have total 100% unremitting control over in your life is the thoughts that you voluntarily allow to reach your subconscious mind. Because, your mind is a garden. And if you think about a garden plot, what happens to that garden plot if it's untended? Well, autosuggestion is the agency, it's the method, it's the means that you control, through which you can either voluntarily feed your subconscious mind with thoughts of a creative nature, thoughts of growth, thoughts of prosperity, thoughts of abundance, thoughts of meaning and purpose, or by neglect, you can allow thoughts of a destructive nature to reach this fertile garden and allow weeds to grow. And it's really up to you. Now, when you start working on this, you've actually got to see and feel yourself in possession of what you want. So again, money, as Wallace Waddle says, is where you've got to start. We're living on the physical plane, and what money does is it enables you to enrich yourself intellectually and physically as well as spiritually. And it enables you to enrich the planet as well. So let's just take, can you really truly visualize yourself as a millionaire? Can you see yourself in possession of $1 million, right? Can you see yourself, how many $100 bills, for example, does it take to make $1 million? Well, if you have 10,000 $100 bills, think about it this way. And what I would do when I started this 40 years ago, I had nothing. I was deep underwater. There was more month than money all the time. I was wondering how I was going to keep a roof over the head and keep my children in clothes and food. But what I started doing is I would start counting these out on this desk in my mind, because I didn't have these. So I would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 100s is 1,000. Then I would make 10 stacks of 1,000. All right, 10,000. Then I would make 10 stacks of 100,000. Or 10 stacks of 10,000 to make 100,000. Then I would make 10 stacks of 100,000 to make 100. I would literally count out 10,000 $100 bills in my mind while I didn't count sheep, I counted bennies, right? I counted Benjamins. And so you've got to be able to do that. And what you've got to know about Think and Grow Rich is this is all practical. Not a bit of it is theoretical. In other words, it's meant to, these are exercises that are meant to be employed. So, in the chapter 2 on desire, you're given 6 steps for turning desire into gold. And the question you've got to ask yourself, have you done it, or did you blow right by that and go, oh, I don't need to do that. That's not important to me. Well, look, by following those instructions, what you're doing is you're communicating the object of your desire directly into that powerful, creative force in your subconscious mind. And you're doing it in a spirit of absolute faith. Now, the way you do that is you emotionalize those words. You emotionalize that affirmation with love and feeling. Feeling is the most faith is the most powerful positive emotion. And what's going to happen is your subconscious mind, boom, picks up on that, and it starts to act on that thought that's been well mixed with emotion. And look, if you're just using plain unemotional words, you got no hope of influencing the subconscious mind. So boom, blow it up, really, wow, exuberance and whoa, excitement and love and faith and hope and joy. And what happens is that is how you get the results. But if you don't emotionalize them, if you're just repeating words, like saying a prayer, you're going to get no appreciable results until you learn to reach that subconscious mind with thoughts and spoken word that have been well emotionalized with positive emotions like belief and love. And look, there's a price. There's a price to the promise. And what it is never ending, unremitting, unrelenting consistency to be conscious, be mindful, watch what's going on, watch what thoughts you're allowing to permeate and penetrate into that rich garden. So, the price of the ability to influence your subconscious mind is everlasting persistence in applying these principles. Now, you're going to be the only one that can make the decision if it's right for you or not, if it's worth the price. Look, we're talking about discipline, mental discipline, the hardest work any of us are ever going to do in life. And only you can decide whether or not the reward, which is why you got to have a big, bodacious goal. I mean, a BHAG, big, horrendous, audacious goal. It's got to be something that just really grabs you and excites you. If it doesn't, you're going to go, oh man, the price is too high, because repetition of thought is the thing that is absolutely required. Repetition, belief, visualization, faith. It's all part of persistence. And one of the interesting things that we've got with the WCM, the Wealth Creation Mastermind, is in Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill says, get going on these exercises before you even have a plan. Beautiful thing about the WCM, we've got a plan for wealth creation. These episodes are all about thinking in a certain way. On Tuesday night, we do the Lifestyle and Financial Freedom Zoom, which is all about the plan. So we've actually got a way to influence and affect millions of others. And when you visualize the reward you desire, when you see yourself rendering the service that we talk about on Tuesday night, that you intend to give in exchange for the reward, then you're able to actually see it, believe it, and start the ball rolling. Now look, you've got to read this chapter. Napoleon Hill recommends that after you read the whole book, you come back and you read this chapter every night for a full month. And I agree with that. It's a great exercise. There's so much material in this one short, everybody says, such a short chapter. Oh, this is because if it was any longer, you'd never be able to get through it all. I mean, there's so much content here. So understand that without doing the application, without actually applying what we're learning here, it's wasted time. It's a fool's journey. It's a fool's errand. There's no point in even beginning if you're not going to do the work. So put the instructions into practice at least twice a day until they become a fixed habit. And then while you're doing it, really be cognizant of what is your mental state. Are you in a state of joy? Are you in a state of belief in yourself and in the power of the infinite? Because those are the two things. You've got to believe in yourself, and you have to believe in infinite intelligence. This is why we stay in the trilogy of books, so that you understand intellectually how and why this material actually works. So over a period of time of study, you gain knowledge. Knowledge precedes understanding. Understanding precedes action. So you follow this methodically and systematically, stay in it, make a 9-month commitment, and then embed in your mind this quote, I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person that I intend to become. Who do I want to, what do I want to be? What do I want to do? What do I want to have? And thereby what you're doing is you're creating a very, very clear mental image that you're programming into your subconscious mind, and then spend 10 minutes every day on self-confidence. I know through the principle of autosuggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back of it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes demanding of myself self-confidence. Now, here again is the beautiful part of what we do together at the WCM, is we know what we want. We want to have a team 1 million strong by January of 2020. And when you start looking at what that will mean to you, you understand that's complete financial freedom. So we will help you write down a very clear set of those 6 steps, but you've got to have a clearly written down description of your chief definite aim in life, what you want to be, do, and have. And you've got to also commit to yourself that you will never, ever, ever stop trying until you've developed the confidence and you have attained the desire of your, or the object of your desire. And understand that it's a combination of spirit and action. We are triune beings. We are physical beings with an intellect, but we are indeed spiritual in nature. That is the only eternal part of ourselves, is the spiritual part. The intellectual and the physical are temporal. So the time is going to come, by staying in this material, as long as you're doing it, as long as you're reading it and applying it and staying consistent on a daily basis, that as long as you're believing it, do it in spirit and action, right? That a whole new universe of power is going to open up to you, and you're going to realize, my gosh, I've got access to the same creative ability that has created the stars. I mean, that is the absolute unvarnished truth. So know that the secret of mental power is your ability to influence your own subconscious mind. And as you become a master of programming your subconscious mind, you take mastery over your earthly destiny, because you, unlike a fish or a cat or a dog or a goat, you've got the ability to consciously choose the thoughts that you're going to program your subconscious. Now, here's the statement. The actual performance of transmuting desire into achievement involves the use of autosuggestion. The other principles, all of the other principles that we study, are simply tools with which to apply autosuggestion. That is the importance of this chapter. Now, understand, life is a short ride. It's a rocket shot. So get into action, put this material into application, study this material on a daily basis. For next week, we're into specialized knowledge, chapter 5. We're getting into the mastermind principle, and think in a certain way. You do that by reading book 1, Science of Getting Rich, book 2, Think and Grow Rich, book 3, The Kabbalion. You get on every one of these Monday night calls. You subscribe to the weekly newsletter. You follow it. You read it. You stay in it. And then when it comes out on Friday morning, you open it up. You rewatch the episode. You reread the chapter. You really act like a student. And then you also commit to, in addition to thinking in a certain way, to acting in a certain way. Get very clear. Determine in your mind, who do you want to be? What do you want to have? What do you want to do with your life? Be, do, and have. See it clearly, design it. Understand what that'll take. What'll a month in your life cost you? How are you going to get there? Employ the vehicles that we talk about in Tuesday night. Pay it forward to others so they can begin to live the life of their dreams. And I again want to commend you for being the wealth creation mastermind, for making a decision to uplift, to become the highest and best version of yourself possible, and to pay it forward to millions of others around the world. Thank you, everybody. Have a fabulous week.